Well, we were talking about differentiable function on a differentiable manifold. So, if M is an n-dimensional differentiable manifold and f is a real valued function, we say that f is differentiable at a point P if f composition phi inverse is Euclidean differentiable at the point phi P. So, this is the definition that we discussed in our last lecture. Mind it that at f composition phi inverse is a function from an open set of Rn into R. So, this function is Euclidean differentiable at the point phi p, then only we say f is differentiable at the point p. If f is differentiable at each point of an open set, we say that the function f is differentiable at the open set U, whatever open set you have chosen. We discuss certain examples also of a differentiable function. Now, let us consider the space of differentiable functions which are differentiable in some neighborhood of point P. So, P is a point in M all the time. So, I am considering the set of real valued functions on M which are differentiable in some neighborhood of P. Okay. So, if I say that f belongs to C infinity P, it means that there exists a neighborhood of P, let us say U of P, such that the function f is differentiable on U. Okay. What you can see that this C infinity P has an algebraic structure. So, f C infinity P is in fact a group under addition. How it is a group? So, I have to define the addition of C infinity P. So, f plus g we define as follows: f plus g operating on a point x is equal to f of x plus g of x. You can see that this makes sense. If f and g are two elements of C infinity P, so what I have done, I have chosen f g in C infinity P. Then I am defining the sum like this. So, with this sum, you can see that f plus g belongs to C infinity P. This needs an explanation. When I say f and g belongs to C infinity V, I mean that there exists a neighborhood of P such that f is differentiable on that neighborhood. Similarly, there exists a neighborhood for g also around P where it is differentiable. So, f plus g will be a function which is differentiable on the intersection of the two neighborhoods. So, whenever you consider the sum of two functions like this, f plus g will be a function. If f is a differentiable on a neighborhood U, if f is differentiable on U and G, this is a neighborhood of P, mind it. Yes. And G is also a member of C infinity P, means there exists some neighborhood of P, let us call it Vp. This is also differentiable. Then f plus g will be defined or will be differentiable on the intersection of these two neighborhoods. The intersection of UP and VP will be an open set around P. So, this can be a member of C infinity P. I have to only check whether this function is differentiable or not, because C infinity P contains those functions which are differentiable on some neighborhood of P. So, look here, I can check that f plus g is also differentiable. F plus g, in order to check whether a given function is differentiable or not, what we do? We compose it with phi inverse. Okay, what is phi? Phi is a homeomorphism which takes the neighborhood of this neighborhood into R n. So, you can see this will be equal to f composition phi inverse plus g composition phi inverse. Yes, please. So, this is a function from, okay. So, f plus g, one can see it is differentiable because I can write down this like this. Okay. Now, this is a function from open set of R n into R, and since f is a member of C infinity P, this function is differentiable, Euclidean differentiable. Similarly, g is a member of C infinity P, g composition phi inverse is Euclidean differentiable at the point phi, p. So, the sum of two Euclidean differentiable function is Euclidean differentiable, and therefore, this is Euclidean differentiable. Okay. And once this function is differentiable, I can say that f plus g belongs to C infinity P. Okay. So, whenever you have two functions in C infinity P, their sum is also C infinity P, and therefore, I will say that C infinity P has a binary operation, this plus. Okay. Now, I have to check other property of the addition, for example, whether this addition is associative or not, does it have an identity, etc. These questions we will resolve. So, one can easily check number 2, that f plus g, if I pick 3 functions, say f, g, h in C infinity P, means these are 3 real valued functions differentiable on some neighborhood of P. I can define their sum like this. This will also be a differentiable function, and one can see that this sum will be same as f plus g plus h. This is easy to see. Okay? It is easy to check. So, now this sum in the left as well as in the right will be differentiable function on the intersection of the 3 neighborhoods. Okay? And one can also see that this is differentiable and this equality holds, means this addition is in fact an associative operation. And now I have to search a function which works as a identity of this group. It will turn out to be a group. So, consider a function number 3. Consider a function. What is this function? I will denote this function by the symbol 0. Now, this 0 I will define like this, that it is defined on some neighborhood of P. What it does, it maps all points of this neighborhood to 0. 0 operating on any element of this gives you simply 0 of R. Now, if you define a function like this, you can see that this 0 belongs to C infinity P. One can check it up. How will you check it up? You will compose it with phi inverse, and you will see it will be, let me operate it on a point x. X is a point in R. Okay, so this is equal to 0 composition phi inverse of x, or 0 operating on phi inverse of x. Okay. So what is this? Phi inverse of x will be a point in the neighborhood UP, and 0 operating on that will make it 0, so you will get 0. Is it right? So this is a function on an open set of Rn which maps everything to 0, means it's a constant function which is Euclidean differentiable, all of us know. So this implies that 0 belongs to C infinity. ओके, एक फंक्शन मिल गया जो कि सी इन्फिनिटी पी का मेंबर है, और हमको ये लगता है कि इट विल वर्क एज ए additive identity of the group. So in order to see that it is a additive identity, I must add it into a function f, where f is a function differentiable on some neighborhood of p. So let me check 0 plus f. 0 plus f, how did we define the sum of two functions?
0x plus f.
Yes, it was defined like this: 0x, x I should write down some other, say let me write down q, because this operates on points of manifolds. So 0 of q plus f of q. 0 of q by definition is 0, f of q is f of q. This is the sum of two real numbers. 0 is a real number, so answer is f of q. Similarly, I can f plus 0 is also, so 0 plus f is same as f plus 0 equal to f, and this implies that 0 function defined over here is the identity of the group, is the identity element of C infinity p under this operation which we have defined. Okay. Now one can also look for inverse of every element. So given an f, a function f in C infinity p, I have to search its additive inverse. So we propose a function minus f. Minus f, let me define minus f from an open set of manifold into R, and I define it like this, operating on some point q. It is, I define it like this. ठीक है, यहाँ पे माइनस एफ एक नोटेशन है, और यहाँ पे माइनस का वही मीनिंग है जो रियल नंबर में माइनस का में होता है. तो ठीक है, इस तरह से हमने माइनस एफ को डिफाइन कर दिया, और यहाँ से फिर हम चेक करेंगे कि माइनस एफ बिकम्स ए मेंबर ऑफ सी इन्फिनिटी पी. ये चेक कैसे करेंगे? माइनस एफ कंपोजिशन फाई इनवर्स देखेंगे, वो यूक्लिडियन डिफरेंशिएबल होगा, तब आप कहेंगे कि हाँ belongs to C infinity p. And moreover, in order to say that it is additive inverse of f, I need to check one more thing, that minus f plus f is same as f plus minus f, which is same as the 0 function, and that will prove that 0 is the identity of C infinity p. So we conclude that C infinity p is a group. And I will go a step further, it is in fact an abelian group. So the conclusion of all this discussion is that C infinity p under this addition is an abelian group. ठीक है? All right, we will not stop over here. We will consider the product of two functions. So let me pick any two functions from C infinity p, and I will define the product of f and g like this, of say q. I will define it like this. एफ क्यू इंटू जी क्यू। ठीक है, ये हमने डेफिनेशन प्रपोज की है फॉर द फंक्शन एफ इंटू जी, और जो राइट साइड में डॉट लगा है दिस इज़ द ऑर्डिनरी प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू रियल नंबर्स। ठीक है, सो एफ इंटू जी ऑपरेट्स ऑन अ पॉइंट ऑफ मैनिफोल्ड एंड गिव्स यू अ रियल नंबर, मीन्स एफ इंटू जी इज़ ए फंक्शन फ्रॉम an open set of manifold into R. The next thing to check is whether it's a member of C infinity P or not. ठीक है, अगर f की नेबरहुड u है और g की नेबरहुड v है तो f इंटू जी की जो नेबरहुड होगी वो होगी u इंटरसेक्शन v, जैसे पहले था। ये बात आसान है समझने के लिए। नाउ टू शो दैट f इंटू जी बिलोंग्स टू C infinity P, I will consider FG composition phi inverse. One can see that it is actually equal to F composition phi inverse into G composition phi inverse. ये दोनों यूक्लिडियन डिफरेंशिएबल फंक्शंस हैं। ये भी फंक्शन Rn टू R है और ये भी ओपन सेट ऑफ Rn टू R है, और ये जो प्रोडक्ट है दोनों के बीच में ये ऑर्डिनरी प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू फंक्शंस, फंक्शनों की जो प्रोडक्ट होती है Rn टू R में वो वही है। ठीक है, ये कैसे आया इसको भी आप देख सकते हैं। f इंटू जी कंपोजिशन फाई इनवर्स को ऑपरेट काय पे कराएंगे, वी विल ऑपरेट इट ऑन पॉइंट्स ऑफ Rn, सो इट विल बी इक्वल टू f इंटू जी ऑपरेटिंग ऑन फाई इनवर्स x. Phi inverse x will be a point in the manifold, so that will be, you may call it Q. So f into g operating on Q. So let me write down here. So f into g of phi inverse x is equal to f into g of q, which by definition is fq into gq. Q you are denoting phi inverse of x into g operating on phi inverse of x. So this is f composition phi inverse of x into g composition phi inverse of x. So this becomes f composition phi inverse into g composition phi inverse of x. Okay, that is why you write down like this. Okay. Now in the right side, this is a differentiable function from open set of R into R. Similarly, this is differentiable from R into R, and this product of two differentiable function is always differentiable. ठीक है, ये बात जानी पहचानी है। तो यहाँ से अब डेफिनेशन अप्लाई कीजिएगा तो क्या कहिएगा, you will say that fg belongs to C infinity P, or in the language you will say that f into g is a differentiable function on a neighborhood of P. तो ये एक ऑपरेशन और डिफाइन हो गया इस तरह से। तो अब यहाँ पे आके आप बोलेंगे कि f into g, this product is a binary operation. So in fact C infinity P has another binary operation which I am denoting by dot. And for this operation also you can check associative property. Proof is I will.
For group we have to check also with respect to multiplication, or
yes, for group.
we have to check for
It may, but it will not admit a identity all the time. Okay. So identity will be missing. So in fact, what you need to see is whether associative property with respect to multiplication holds or not. So pick three functions f, g and h. They are differentiable on some neighborhood of P. What you can see is that this is same as Okay, only this much. And once you have two operations on a set, one must check the compatibility between the two. Okay, so this is number 2, second property. Third one is, if you take three functions, you add g and h and you multiply from the left side by f, you can see that it satisfies f into g plus f into h. The second distributive property is that you add two functions f and g and then you multiply it from the right by another function h. Once again you can see that it will be same as f into h plus g into h. So the two operation of addition and multiplication, they are compatible with each other, means the distributive property holds. And what will you say at this point? You will say that C infinity P is not just an abelian group, it is in fact a commutative ring. So C infinity P under this addition and this multiplication as a commutative.
So identity map will not work as the identity of this. Identity map does not belong to C into P.
Identity, what is identity map? What is identity map here? You are considering functions from open set of manifold into R. So this is, yes, you can define constant functions but not identity, commutative ring. All right. In fact, the better thing is, you instead of considering C infinity P as the space of all differentiable function, differentiable in a neighborhood of point, one can consider germs of functions. So germs of function is better, germs of functions. In fact, germ of a function is an equivalence class of functions. So what happens is, if I have two functions, say f and g, which are differentiable in some neighborhood of P, then I will say that these two functions are germ equivalent. F and g are said to be germ equivalent if there exists a neighborhood around the point P such that f and g coincide on that neighborhood. ठीक है, f और g की वैल्यूज़ जो हैं वो उस नेबरहुड पे बिल्कुल सेम हो जाए. आप देखिए आर एन में ही देख लीजिए, कुछ फंक्शन ऐसे हैं कि जिनका ग्राफ ये कर्व है, दूसरा एक फंक्शन है उसका ग्राफ जो है वो कुछ ये फंक्शन है. आप नोटिस करेंगे कि इन ए स्मॉल नेबरहुड ये इतने हिस्से में दोनों फंक्शन बिल्कुल सेम, ठीक है ना. और ऐसा भी हो सकता है फंक्शन ऐसे करके निकल जाए. So there will be a class of functions which will agree on some part of it or some part of the neighborhood. Okay. So I will put all those functions into one class. So ये जो मैंने bracket f लिखा है, that means it contains all functions which are germ equivalent. Similarly, I will take another function g. So this bracket g contains all functions which are germ equivalent to g and they are disjoint classes. ठीक है, ऐसी h etc. ये सब functions जो हैं. So ये जो class of function है इसको भी कुछ लोग C infinity p कहते हैं. So instead of taking one function at a time, I will consider disjoint equivalence classes of functions, and here you can add classes. I can add bracket f with bracket g, and this will be done like this. You add f and g as you were doing, and then you consider entire class. Okay, so once again it will become a group, it will become a ring, commutative ring. Okay, and here you can multiply them by scalar also. So not only you can do all these only two operations, you can multiply. Suppose I have this f functions defined in a neighborhood of P, you can multiply it by scalar alpha. I consider alpha in R. Okay. So alpha f I will define like this, it is alpha times f. ठीक है, एक स्केलर से फंक्शन को मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, उनकी इमेज फैल जाएंगी, मगर उसी पोर्शन पे या उससे ज़्यादा पोर्शन पे वो एग्री करते रहेंगे, उसको उसी पोर्शन पे एग्री करते रहेंगे. सो यू विल गेट ए क्लास. सो नाउ दिस स्केलर मल्टीप्लिकेशन इज ऑल्सो वेल डिफाइंड, and here also you can consider distributive property, etc. So in fact it is this space becomes an algebra of functions. So C infinity P is an algebra of function. Algebra of differentiable functions. So you can add functions, you can multiply real valued functions, and you can multiply them by real numbers also. All these operations are well behaved, compatible, and they form an algebra. All right. So and sometime you need globally defined functions. So one can think of functions from whole manifold into R. So instead of considering functions which are differentiable only on a small neighborhood, you can think of those functions which are differentiable at each point of the manifold. So this is the space of all differentiable functions on M. On M. This is also an algebra. This is also an algebra. This is an algebra over R. Like C infinity P. All right. So now we will work with this algebra also. And now not only real valued functions are important, we can talk of functions from manifold to manifold. Okay, so this will become a special case. So now consider functions from manifold to manifold. So this discussion is over. Now I am considering, let M and N are two manifolds of dimension M and N are differentiable manifolds. Manifolds of dimension small m and n respectively. Then you consider mappings and consider mappings from M to N. Okay. Let me denote a mapping from M to N by F. क्या यहाँ पे भी हम डिफरेंशियबिलिटी की बात कर सकते हैं कैपिटल F की? The answer is yes, and the technique is the same. We will pick the notion of differentiability from Rn to Rm to Rn and we'll use it over here. ठीक है, तो m से n तक का फंक्शन कब डिफरेंशियबल होगा ये बात हम कर रहे हैं. मान लीजिए ये कोई मैनिफोल्ड m है और ये कोई दूसरा मैनिफोल्ड n है और इनके बीच में एक फंक्शन है कैपिटल F. मैं एट ए पॉइंट से शुरू करता हूँ. सपोज P इज़ ए पॉइंट ओवर हेयर विच बिलोंग्स टू अ कोऑर्डिनेट नेबरहुड U. Its image FP is here, and suppose it is contained into this coordinate neighborhood V. So let me call it V. This coordinate neighborhood must be homeomorphic to an open set in Rm. This is Rm, and phi U will be homeomorphic to this open set phi U. So the image of P will be here, phi P will be here. Similarly, V will be homeomorphic to some open set in Rn. This is Rn. An open set will be some, say, psi of V. This map is psi. ठीक है, तो अपने आप से एक मैप इमर्ज होगा इन दोनों ओपन सेट्स के बीच में, एंड दिस मैप विल बी psi कंपोजिशन F कंपोजिशन phi इनवर्स. ये एक मैप अपने आप इमर्ज हो जाएगा, और ये जो मैप है वो ओपन सेट ऑफ Rm से ओपन सेट ऑफ Rn तक है. ये मैप कैसा भी हो सकता है. अगर ये मैप डिफरेंशिएबल है एट द पॉइंट phi P, तो मैं कहूँगा कैपिटल F इज़ डिफरेंशिएबल एट द पॉइंट P. देखिए, आप होम्योमॉर्फिज्म के थ्रू नीचे आए थे, यहाँ भी होम्योमॉर्फिज्म के थ्रू आए थे, तो जो गारंटी है इसके बारे में वो कंटिन्यूटी की है. लेकिन चूँकि Rn सेटिंग में है, आप इसके ऊपर एक कंडीशन इम्पोज कर सकते हैं कि ये कभी कभी डिफरेंशिएबल भी हो सकता है. जब ये डिफरेंशिएबल होगा तो ये फाई और साई जो है वो होम्योमॉर्फिज्म से बढ़ के होंगी कुछ. ठीक है ना. देन वी विल से कि दिस मैप इज डिफरेंशिएबल. ओके, सो इफ F, लेट मी राइट डाउन द डेफिनेशन ओवर हेयर. द डायग्राम आई हैव टोल्ड यू, सो अदर डिटेल यू कैन सी फ्रॉम द नोट्स. F from M to N is said to be differentiable at P in M, where P belongs to a coordinate neighborhood. I have written all the, shown that these are coordinate neighborhood, etc. I need not do that. At P, where, okay, लिख लेते हैं, where P belongs to U phi, a coordinate chart, and phi P belongs to coordinate chart V psi, not phi P, FP. So F from M to N is said to be differentiable at P if the map, which map? I will write down here. If psi composition F composition phi inverse, which is a map from phi U in Rm to psi V in Rn. This map is differentiable, is Euclidean differentiable. At phi P. हालांकि मुझे यूक्लिडियन डिफरेंशिएबल नहीं लिखना चाहिए, क्योंकि Rn से Rm के बीच में जो मैप होगा और वो डिफरेंशिएबल भी है, तो उसको यूक्लिडियन डिफरेंशिएबल ही माना जाएगा. लेकिन मैं एम्फेसाइज करने के लिए कि अब दो तरह की डिफरेंशिएबिलिटी है, एक मैनीफोल्ड टू मैनीफोल्ड और एक Rn टू Rm, Rm टू Rn. तो दोनों में फ़र्क रखने के लिए मैं यहाँ यूक्लिडियन लगा देता हूँ. Okay, so this is the meaning of differentiability of a function from manifold to manifold at a point P. Now, if this map is differentiable on certain neighborhood, if it is differentiable at each point of a neighborhood, we will say f is differentiable at the neighborhood u or whatever from M to N. Okay, so that is the meaning of differentiable function from manifold to manifold. If it is differentiable on the entire M, we will say f is differentiable from M to N. All right. Now, there must be some examples. So, we already have seen some well-known maps. We should check their differentiability. For example, if you have a manifold M, then there are coordinate neighborhood inside it and there are homeomorphisms. Okay? Suppose this is u, this is phi, and this is phi u here in Rn. Phi u is sitting in Rn. M is a n-dimensional manifold. तो Rn भी manifold ही है और M भी कोई manifold है. So now I have a map from one manifold to another manifold. ठीक है. अब जब डिफरेंशियबिलिटी का आइडिया हमें दिख गया है तो हम ये सवाल उठा सकते हैं कि क्या ये मैप डिफरेंशियबल होगा इन दिस सेंस? द आंसर इज यस. इन फैक्ट इट विल बी ए डिफ्यूमॉर्फिज्म. So the example says that if u phi is a coordinate chart on a manifold M, then phi is a diffeomorphism. It is differentiable and inverse is also differentiable. Phi is a diffeomorphism is a term that everybody knows. Phi is a diffeomorphism. This is our claim. How will you show okay, this statement is true? If u phi is a coordinate chart on a manifold M, then phi is in fact a diffeomorphism.
Always, sir.
Always. If M is a differentiable manifold. M I have assumed is a differentiable manifold. Throughout मैंने लिखा. On M लिखा है ना ये. मैंने शुरू में लिख दिया था कि throughout I will assume M is a differentiable manifold. तो अभी तक तो हम यही समझ रहे थे कि फाई जो है वो होम्योमॉर्फिज्म है, लेकिन अब इसके ऊपर एक डिफरेंशियबल एटलस आया और डिफरेंशियबिलिटी के आइडियाज़ हमें क्लियर हुए. तो अब हम ये देख सकते हैं कि ये होम्योमॉर्फिज्म ही नहीं, ये तो डिफ्यूमॉर्फिज्म. ओके, सो हाउ वुड यू चेक दैट ए गिवन मैप इज़ ए डिफ्यूमॉर्फिज्म? तो मैं क्या करूँगा, मैं करूँगा ये कि यहाँ से M से M में एक मैप ले लूँगा, वो फाई यहाँ U से फाई एक मैप ले लूँगा, इसको भी फाई ले लेता हूँ. ठीक है, ये फाई है, फाई नहीं है, ये Rn है बेसिकली. ठीक है, इसी को तो दिखाना है ऊपर कि ये मैप डिफरेंशियबल है. ये फाई U है. तो ये दोनों सेम ही मैप हैं, ये भी और ये भी. एक ज़रा नीचे बना रखा फिगर में. यस, हम इस अब आइडेंटिटी मैप के थ्रू आप फिर Rn में लैंड कर जाएं. ये भी फाइल है. अब आपके पास यहाँ भी Rn है और यहाँ भी Rn. तो अपने आप ये मैप, हमें इस मैप को डिफरेंशियबल दिखाना था. ठीक है, तो इस मैप के लिए मुझे फाई यहाँ बनाना पड़ा. ये कोऑर्डिनेट मैप है. तो ये मैप कौन सी बनी? पहले आप फाई इनवर्स के थ्रू ऊपर जाएंगे, फिर फाई के थ्रू यहाँ आएंगे, फिर आइडेंटिटी मैप. ठीक है, अब आप देखिए क्या मिला. Phi composition phi inverse is identity, identity composition identity is identity, identity map on Rn is always differentiable. So since this is differentiable, this phi is in fact a differentiable map, which is a 1 1 onto also. Now what will be the inverse of it? Its inverse you can find out from here to here. Its inverse will be this. This will be what? I inverse पहले ऊपर ले जाएगा, फिर phi inverse इसको यहाँ ले आएगा, phi इसको नीचे ले आएगा. ये भी identity आता है. An identity map is known to be, so our claim is right. Both here to here as well as here to here, both are differentiable. 1 1 continuous, they were already there, so this is a diffeomorphism. So I will discuss examples of these, more examples in my next lecture. I stop at this point.